Okay, okay. Today is one of the days that we have been looking forward for. Amazing, amazing Africa youth trying to embrace blockchain and make it very beneficial for the continent. If today is your first time joining us, we are the Catalyst African Townhall, one of the wings that is spreading Cardano blockchain and educating Africans on blockchain, the applications, the use cases, and how we can make it very beneficial for all of us. We have been focusing more on education, going to universities, who having physical meetups with university students and telling them about the blockchain, the benefit, giving them high-level overview of what actually they can do, and also trying to bring up more developers and also encourage people to embrace the blockchain. So Cardano blockchain have been our backbone since we established the African Town Hall, the Catalyst African Town Hall, with the purpose of promoting the blockchain across Africa and beyond. So this is African Town Hall for you. My name is Daniel, and I am the programs manager for Catalyst African Town Hall. We have community managers in 5 African countries. Those of us who joined earlier on, you heard of Obio. Obio is doing so well, amazingly so well in Nigeria, managing a whole community. And he also have a blockchain startup that is managing, and he will tell us more about it on the call. He also has a background in AI and cybersecurity, AI and data analysis. He's a great guy. So if you hear me calling him professor, there's a reason for that. We have Boaz. He's also managing a whole community in DRC Congo, Democratic Republic of Congo. Unfortunately, Boaz can't join us today because they're having some unrest in their country, something that is not supposed to be happening at this age of time, but political tension in their country. So he can't join us this evening, but I know he's with us in spirit and in mind because he has been an amazing team player. We also have Madam Ifia, who is a coordinator for African Town Hall. She's based in Ghana. She's also doing amazingly so well. She also has a blockchain setup, the Accra Resource Center that she's managing. They are looking at the developer side of the chain. They'll be hosting a whole lot of education on software development and those kind of stuff. We have Richmond too, who is our publicity officer, right? He's also doing so well with us. We have Bernard in South Africa. Bernard is also a community manager. Last year, he was able to manage some events for us in South Africa. We have, how do you call it? We have a footstep also in Uganda. And we also hosted one of the best blockchain event, Cardano blockchain event in Uganda. This time around, we are looking at onboarding 2 new countries, right? We are still planning on which country we should go. We are contemplating on Zambia, Tanzania. I know Tanzania, Cardano have footsteps there, but I think we can also collaborate with some of the players who are promoting it and then make it more stronger. You're looking at Benin Republic, right? Maybe somewhere Ricos or one of these Francophone countries. So this is us, Catalyst African Town Hall. This is what we do. And I said that like I said earlier on, yeah, we have the aim of trying to promote the Cardano blockchain, or the blockchain itself, adopt it, and how it can make our economy very strong, right? So that is us for you. What you can see on the screen right now is our website, right? When you visit the website, you get to know more information about us and what we do and what we have done so far, and how you can also come on board and support us, right? Initially, at the initial stage, you notice I was mentioning our community managers and the work that they are doing. We are not the only one. We can't do the work alone. So please, if you have any idea you want to support us, kindly bring it on board and help us to promote the blockchain in Africa. Right. Today we have two main agenda. The first agenda is to look at the Cardano blockchain, the status of it, where it has gotten to, and how it is going. Then we also look at the DRep and how you can participate in the DRep, how you can delegate to DReps who are who like you think they can actually represent you when it comes to decision making about the Cardano blockchain. And then we also have the main agenda, which is the African Blockchain Championships that is come to happen, and we have one of their reps here to tell us about it. So, without wasting much time, right, I'll stop sharing my screen and give the ball back to Obio. Obio will just give us some high-level overview about the current status about the Cardano blockchain, the Cardano governance, making emphasis on the plumbing ad fork that just passed. Then also you take the opportunity to tell us about DRep and how we can delegate. So Obio, if you are there, over to you.
All right, thank you so much, Daniel. And yeah, thank you guys for all being here. It's always a privilege for us to have everyone in the Catalyst African Town Hall. So yeah, once again, welcome and thank you for being here. Yeah, so the status of governance in Cardano right now, I think I should be rather saying congratulations to all of us. We've actually made it to the plumbing hard fork, right? So I'm sure a lot of people are like, what's going on? If you've been on Twitter or most of the active spaces, Discord or wherever conversations around Cardano is actually ongoing, you would see that there's been a lot of noise. We know Cardano already to be a very noisy space, right? But you would agree with me that the noise has probably increased in the past 1 week. And this noise is actually brought to you courtesy of the plumbing hard fork. In the plumbing hard fork, you should be expecting more of this noise because the community has actually entered into that point, that era of full community governance. So we entered into the Volta era about how many epochs ago, but entering into the Volta era is not enough as entering into the as having the plumbing hard fork, because the Volta era only opens us to the governance of the people, but the plumbing hard fork is actually the functionality that allows that technology to become fully on chain. So how do I explain that? So we entered into the Volta era. The Volta era is the governance of the people, but the governance of the people does not necessarily reflect in the chain, right? It does not necessarily mean that the technology to empower that era has actually occurred. So for us to be able to reach that full decentralization where the chain actually empowers itself, right? The chain can actually allow us to govern ourselves. We needed to activate the plumbing hard fork. The plumbing hard fork means at the full initiation of the plumbing hard fork, it means that all the technology that is necessary to allow for the effective governance of the people has actually been done. Now, for that to be done, we needed to have at least 51% of these SPOs, right, node takers, actually upgraded to the new V3, to the new plumbing hard fork, obviously. They needed to have upgraded their technology to the new changes that has actually occurred as a result of this change. And obviously, 2 to 3 weeks ago, it was almost seeming like an impossible task for us. But I think in the last 3 to 4 days, pending turned into the plumbing hard fork where we are going to actually vote, we saw a lot of bigger players. We saw the likes of Binance, Coinbase, and all these other guys upgrading their tech stack and also voting to allow the plumbing hard fork to be ratified or to come to play. We also saw all the different constitutional council, the Intercept Council, the Atlantic Council, and the Cardano Foundation, and all the respective foundations or councils coming together to actually say yes to the plumbing hard fork. Obviously, this meant that all the security has been checked and everything that needed to be checked to ensure that we are actually effectively moving to this hard fork is actually done, right? So congratulations to us. We are now Blooming hard fork has actually occurred. It means that the technology to empower the people to take governance into their hands has actually been done, and we are now in that new technology and that new phase. And so as a result of that, this moves us to the next point of the conversation, the role of the DReps, right? The DReps are quintessential to this conversation, right? Because they are the people that will be representing you and I in making the, effective decisions, right? Because obviously everybody will not be actively reading the scripts, checking if the hard fork is actually okay, the technical requirements and everything for future changes in the chain, treasury withdrawals and every other stuff, right? So this is why we have DReps. DReps means delegated representative. These guys are actually there. You delegate your voting power to them. They can make decisions on your behalf. And so generally, we are actually calling for more DReps and participation from the African continent. And as a result of this, we in Remostat is actually the inclusive hiring platform that uses Cardano blockchain as its power, right? This is where I lead from. So we in the Remostat community actually joined the DRep as well. So this is us saying we want to speak to the voices of inclusion. So if you would want to you want your voice to be included in any way, I would think that the Remostat DRep would actually be one of such DRep that you may want to consider delegating to. I'm going to actually share the ID here. So if you are yet to delegate, please do. It's not enough to have your ADA, and like we always advise, let your ADA be in your Cardano native wallets so that you'll be able to participate in some of this governance. So if you have your ADA in Binance, you may want to move it to a Cardano native wallet so you would be able to take part in this governance. And one of such is for you to be able to delegate your voting power. It doesn't matter. You may have just 10 ADA. It doesn't matter. You have 100 ADA. You have 1,000. What matters is your voice, right? And so you're saying, I trust. So like I said, in this case, this is Remostat ID. And so we are also stepping in to join other African. We think we have the WADA DRep. We have Maureen, we have Mubarak, and then we have Lido Nation. And now we also have we now have Remostat as well. So please, if you go through our own on Tempo, you can see our motive. Our motive is very clear. We want to be the voice of inclusion, and we want to be the one that is speaking the minority voice, right? We don't care what everybody's saying, but we want to be that minority voice that is speaking to what every other person is not concerned about. So this is actually why we are stepping up the game, and then we hope that by stepping up, we'll be able to lead the charge as well. So yeah, thank you so much. Expecting delegations from us as well, and then yeah, let's see how we can build together the ecosystem. Thank you, guys.
Thank you very much, Obio. Let's see how we can all build together. That's very great submission. So now somebody might ask, right, Obio, they have ADA in their Yoroi. How do you delegate? Can they delegate from Yoroi or they have to use any other ways? If you can give high
No,
level, just a quick.
yeah, you can delegate from Euro, you can delegate from Eternal, you can go delegate from any of those portals. Simply go to, yeah, if it's on Euro, you will get yeah, either you go to voting or governance. That's the language that most of the apps are using, either voting or governance. And then when you go there, yeah, when you click on it, it will now ask you to delegate to a DRep. It will now ask you for the DRep ID. So this particular DRep ID that I shared here, it starts with DREP, right? 16. So a DRep ID always starts with the word DREP, right? That it shows that this particular wallet address is a DRep address, right? So you now copy it and paste it there, and then you now stake. It happens immediately. It doesn't even take a charge from you. It doesn't take a dime from your wallet either.
Okay, thank you very much. Please, we have 5 minutes left for Obio. Anybody have some question or any clarification that they want to ask Obio from the Plumbing ad hoc to the DRep that he just told us about, or the Cardano governance? You can just raise up your hand or just unmute yourself and introduce yourself and go ahead with your submission if there's any. Okay, so
Okay, if there is none, I would also want to say that we are expecting more participation from the African continent with respect to the DReps. And as much as we would love to emphasize on the need for you. So there are two ways to be active, right? Either you're delegating to a DRep or you're becoming one yourself. If you want to become one yourself, the process is actually simple. You can go to tempo.vote as well and then go through the process, explain the reason why you want to be, what you're here to achieve and all of that, and then delegate. It's going to take you just 500 ADA, but the 500 ADA is actually refundable anytime you cease to become a DRep. That money will be returned to your wallet, but you have to stake about $500 ADA will be taken out of your wallet for you to actually become a DRep. So the essence of this conversation is to see active participation, whether in you delegating to our DRep or any other DRep that is currently in the ecosystem, or you stepping up the ladder to actually become one yourself. Yeah, Demi.
Hello, Ubio. How you
Yeah,
doing?
Demi, what's you doing?
Uh, how is everyone doing? Good evening.
Awesome.
Uh, Thank you for the presentation, Ubio. Thank you so much. So my question is,
Omo, what just happened?
I'm sure. I'm sure. Demi, what happened?
Demi, he's still here, but his
That's
voice, his sound have gone off.
that's life rapture, bro.
Mm. Demi, are you?
sorry, can you hear me?
Yeah,
Yes.
we can hear you.
Sorry, my internet is a bit unstable. I was actually speaking. I didn't realize I had dropped. Sorry. So my question, Ubio, is that now that you have made official announcement about Remostat being a DRep as an organization, what set of governance actions do you find or are you looking to make priority in general and in the in favor of the African community as a whole?
So for us, our priority as is to speak to obvious. So the thesis of our DREP is that we want to speak to inclusion, right? So obviously, Africa in this case is a minority. So in the general structure of the Cardano ecosystem, right? We most times have less than 3% of the representation of what's actually going on. So we are not there to be yes people. And if you do know me for what I actually represent, I'm not there to say yes. For example, I'm not going to be voting yes to the Constitution, all right? Not necessarily because it's not constitutional, or because of the reason that I felt like other people should also have the right to submit their constitutional their own version of the Constitution that is currently seeming impossible or very hard to be done, right? So it's on that basis that I'm going to be saying no, not necessarily because no is what I would stand for, but because no is saying that we recognize the voices that are other people that are currently speaking and they have every right to speak. So the governance actions we're going to be actually taking would actually include both withdrawal actions, constitutionalities, and yeah, mostly treasury actions, and then things that affect different hard forks as well. But like I said, our opinion would actually be based on what every other person is not listening. Yeah, Baba Elliot.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. That's a good response. Thanks. Over to you, the host.
Yeah, Baba Elliot, I think your hand is up.
Hello, everyone. Can you hear me?
Yeah, Elliot, what's up, man?
I'm good, brother. How are you?
It's been cool over here, man.
So, I'm happy to hear that. So, I'm sorry, we have an electricity shortage where I am, and my battery is like 10%. So, it's not about DRep, but it's about the thing that I was planning ahead. So, I wanted to share before my battery dies, you know.
Go on,
Can you
man.
hear me? Hello?
Yeah, go
Ah,
on.
thank you. Okay, thank you. I thought the network was something wrong with the network. So I was looking forward to prepare and to host a workshop here in Tanzania. It will be a 3 days event on this month, and it's going to be from probably 21st of February. And the reason I did that is because I know the next African Town Hall will be on 21st, right? If I'm not mistaken. So I hope to be streaming probably part of that event live. We could share with the African Town Hall to see what's going on here. And generally, we'll be talking about blockchain, but it will be including people from different fields and industries. So we'll be sharing with them the opportunities that are available on blockchain. So we'll be happy to go live, to share live during this coming Africa Town Hall, so that if people would like to hear or would like to share us something like that. So I hope it could be in the next Africa Town Hall agenda. And yeah, and if there are ways, I think other stuffs probably we will continue to discuss or talk as we plan this.
Great, man. Awesome.
Ashanti, Baba
So just in
Elliot.
case my battery dies, I'm sorry.
You said
I'm, j-
Ashanti.
I'm just
Hello.
speaking Swahili with you.
Oh, karibu sana, sija kusikia. What did you say?
Ashanti, or that's not the correct word.
Oh, karibu sana, karibu sana.
Uh, okay, so Baba Elliot, we'll get in touch with you within the week and see how far we can support your event in Tanzania. We have a plan. It is in one of our bucket list to have one of events in Tanzania. And you two have an history with African Town Hall. Baba Elliot is actually one of the pioneers that started the African Town Hall with. He got busy and left it on our shoulder. So welcome back. Come and carry what you left, Baba Elliot. Okay. So let's wrap it up and then focus on our main theme for today. The African Blockchain Championship. Those of you that you are following us on S, you notice that we made a lot of advertisement and calling you to come to the town hall today. So it's all about the African Blockchain Championship. Yeah, it's more about hackathon, and this is attracting about 1,500 plus contestants from all over Africa, right? Nigeria, Kenya, Rwanda, Ethiopia, and the list keep expanding. But let me give the floor to one of the organizers, Edward, who is here, will take us through it and then how we can participate in this event and also invite our individual communities that we are managing. So, um, Edward, if you are here, please take over and let's hear from you. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much, Daniel. Good evening, everyone. I hope you can all hear and see me clearly.
Yes.
All right, just give me a minute while I share my screen. All right, I'm sharing my screen now. I would like to appreciate the African Town Hall for giving us this opportunity to come and share this championship, this blockchain championship with the Town Hall community. And I would also like to appreciate what you guys have been doing in trying to educate the African developers on the Cardano blockchain. There are lots of crypto users in Africa, but not a lot of blockchain developers. So I would say what the African Town Hall is doing is a very, very noble cause, and we'll be very, very happy to partner with them. So I won't take too much of your time. I'll just use our pitch deck to explain what the African Blockchain Championship is all about. So the African Blockchain Championship will be holding from March to May 2025. I'm going to explain why it's about 3 months as we continue in the presentation. So the theme for the African Blockchain Championship is blockchain for development, particularly African development, showcasing the real world use and utility of blockchain in developing economies. And our talents are co-located in universities across Kenya, Ethiopia, Nigeria, Rwanda, Uganda, Ghana, South Africa, and Egypt. And we'll be inviting policymakers, financial institutions, and NGOs. And also, we'll be having workshop leading up and starting incubation thereafter. I'm going to explain what all this means in a while. So like I said, it's going to be happening across Kenya, Ethiopia, Rwanda, and Nigeria. Those were the 4 countries we initially started with. But right now, we've also expanded to Uganda. We have people bidding in from Kenya, South Africa, and Egypt. But right now, we've not confirmed those locations, but we've confirmed the location in Uganda as a satellite location. But in each of the countries, we mostly have primary and satellite locations. For Kenya, that will be Kenyatta University. In Nigeria, that is University of Lagos. Rwanda will be University of Rwanda. And in Ethiopia will be the Addis Ababa University. And these are some of our satellite locations. These are some of the top technical universities across Africa, Nigeria, Ethiopia, Rwanda, and Kenya. And the last one here is the Makerere University in Uganda. That is our latest addition to the locations in Uganda. So there is probability that other countries might come on board. If you are here also and you're from any of the African countries that would like to come on board, we would love to have you on board, either as a prime or a satellite locations. So like Daniel said, we'll be having more than 1,500 ACA developers. We are even hoping to have more than that because we are trying to onboard as many people as possible into this hackathon. So why Africa? We know Africa has a very, very high crypto adoption, particularly sub-Saharan Africa. There has been a significant crypto adoption since early 2020s, even before that. And the region received an estimated $117 billion in on-chain value between July 2022 and June 2023. So this alone is a lot of promising statistics. And also demographics, African young population. In Africa has about 70% of the population in Africa is under 30 years old. And that presents a prime opportunity for large-scale crypto adoption. And then comes the growing traction. We all know Africa is like the next big thing. Everyone is trying to come to Africa and invest in Africa. And even China committing over 50 billion over 3 years. And Jack Ma said he's going to visit all African countries. So Africa has a whole lot of potential. But unfortunately, I would say we are not really utilizing those potentials. Our developers are not getting enough education and enough knowledge that they need to be successful. So we'll be having 2 synergistic activities. We'll be having the pre-hackathon workshops. So one of the ways that this championship is unique is that we are not only looking for blockchain developers or people who already have experience in blockchain development. We are looking for anyone who is interested in developing, anyone who is interested in coding, because we'll be having these pre-hackathon workshops. This is a workshop that is going to train these participants, going to give them both background knowledge. We are going to have specialized workshops also for the championship. So by specialized workshop, I mean that we are going to have workshops that are specific to a particular company. Let's say a workshop for Cardano, a workshop for Flock.io, a workshop for various L1 protocols. So they are going to get enough knowledge, enough materials to be able to be successful in the championship. And we have very, very talented and experienced tutors coming on board who will be doing this for us. So that will happen from March to the first week in April. These pre-hackathon workshops be having basic workshop, we're having specialized workshops. We'll also be having a business side workshop. So not just the coding and development only. We would also have a workshop that will be on the business aspect of developing a country. Because remember I mentioned that there will be um, incubation after. We are still going to talk about that so you understand what I mean. And then each course is divided into two 4-hour long sessions. So there will be 4 sessions, but those sessions will be 2 hours each. And there's going to be reading, exercises, and every other thing, including incentives, so that the participants, we are going to take this very, very serious. So the date for the hackathon itself is April 12 and 13. We call that the kickoff weekend. By that, we mean that that is when the hackathon itself will start, April 12 and April 13. And then there's going to be a 1 month builder phase. Another way this championship is unique is that the hacking is not going to happen during the weekend kickoff itself. We are going to give them a whole month for them to work on their project. So from April 13 to May 11 is the builder phase. And not just are they going to be working on their project, they are going to be receiving mentorship from our tutors. They're going to be receiving education from the sponsors on how to go about project development, slides presentation, debugging, basically everything they would need to be successful is going to happen between April 13 to May 11. And then by May 14 is going to be our final submission. That is, everyone will submit their project. And then on May 24 will be the grand finale. The grand finale means that the top project will be announced and then the sponsor bounties will be given away. Currently, we have about more than $30,000 in sponsor bounties. And we are looking at our reach here is we are looking to have at least 100 universities, sorry, 100 devs per university, 25 teams per university, and 25, at least 25% of them writing smart contracts from what they'll be learning during the workshop series. Uh, we are looking at 1,000 to 1,500 participants, but with the enthusiasm we've seen from developers all across Africa, it's possible that we'll have more than that. And we are looking at 125 to 250 team submissions. These are our timeline. Currently, we are in January to March, we'll be having our pre-hackathon workshop series. And something I would like to add is that we are currently hiring tutors for our workshop series. If you know you are very knowledgeable in Cardano, you have the expertise. You don't necessarily have to have tutors before the formation. So if you just have passion for teaching, you love the Cardano blockchain, then I'm going to send the application link to the Telegram group chat so that you can apply. And then in June, we'll be having the post-hack startup incubation with our partners. Basically, what this means is that our top project, apart from the sponsor bounties, which is about $30,000, more than $30,000, we also have Jambo. Jambo produces the top Web3 smartphones. They'll be giving away 4 smartphones to the top 2 teams. But apart from all of that, there'll be a post-hack startup incubation. What this basically means is that we are going to help this project get funding from our VC partners, and then we are going to help incubate those projects. That means they are going to become real life companies. We are going to give them all necessary knowledge, information, and help they need to become a real company. And hopefully in the next championship, that is 2026, they would even come on board as sponsors so that people participating then will see how successful the 2025 edition was. So these are some of our confirmed sponsors. We have Cardano, Masumi, Flock, Avalanche, Blockchain for Good, ZK Pass, and we have more of them coming on board. And this is Jambo. Jambo will be giving away 4 phones to the top 2 teams. Jambo produces the world most powerful $99 smartphone. It's actually a Web3 smartphone that comes pre-packed with a lot of smart Web3 tools that will be very, very useful. So that is a brief summary of what the championship is all about. I don't think I've forgotten anything. They are all included in our pitch deck. But if anyone has any question, I'm very, very happy to take those questions now.
Edward, that's very brief, but very informative.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Um, anyone have question for Edward or any contribution? And
For Edward
uh,
or Tife?
what?
You said Edward. I'm seeing Tife here.
Yeah, Tife is his local name, right? But Edward is his first name. I
Ah,
like to call him Edward.
call him
Yeah,
that
but
Tife. We like that Tife. Tife is better.
oh
Yeah,
more,
actually.
you see your brother now. You won't even calm down.
But
People
actually,
don't even like
I
now.
I prefer to be called Tife too, actually. But
Oh yeah.
when you
Oh,
work with
okay.
a lot of Europeans and the likes, you have to find a name they can pronounce without murdering it. So if you can pronounce Tife, I'm okay with it.
Interesting. So on
Yeah,
top of it, right, one of the sponsors is also Cardano.
yeah.
It's very yes, interesting in supporting this project. And the available money is 30,000 in price. So I know each of you have your own community that you're managing with students. I know Obio, you also have a whole lot of community that you're managing, and the unified Cardano students in Nigeria, most of them do have interest in the Cardano blockchain, or they were interested in blockchain development. So this will be a very good opportunity for them. I can see Dan here, Dan from AdaDesk. He's also a developer, software developer. He's doing so well. Dan, would you like to say hello to us?
Yeah, hello everyone.
Hi, Dan.
Yeah, hope you are doing well.
Yes, we are doing well.
Yeah. I don't have a question right now. Maybe I'll text Ife after the call, so we'll maybe talk a lot about how we can help to get more developers.
Yeah, that
Yes,
would be
that's
great.
it. Yes. Okay. So I see Tife. Tife have sent no, it's not Tife. Okay, Tife, there's a question. Oh, it's not a question.
Yeah, I can
Okay,
see
there's a question for
Demilade's hand
you.
is up. All right.
So, great presentation. This is a fantastic initiative, and it is surprising to see that no universities from Northern Nigeria are represented. Okay, the region is home to many talented developers, but I assume the lack of exposure might be a contributing factor to their exclusion. I currently serve as the project manager for the Google Student Developers Club at Ahmadu Bello University. And okay, interesting. Interesting. I think this is an area that we can also focus on. So, Alfred, right? Alfred, if you can add your email address to the message, we'll get in touch with you. But I think Tiffy will have something to say as well.
Yes, yes. Alfred, we currently have just the Federal University in Gusau, Nigeria, from the north, and also Bayes University. Sorry, I've not added that to our university list. Bayes University is in Abuja, and the University of Ilorin is in North Central. Although we would love to have more universities in the north, I'm sorry we could not get more. We try reaching out to some, students. Sometimes you get replies, sometimes you not get replies. But we are very, very open to having your university as a satellite location. So you could just reach out to me um, after this meeting, and I would be happy to onboard your university.
Interesting.
I can see Demilade's hand is up too.
Yeah, this is a good one, and the grand prize is mighty. Uh, anyway, um, my question is, what exactly is the plan, right, for providing proper education. I mean, putting together, because building on Cardano has a very steep learning curve compared to EVM-based blockchains. And in order for developers to be able to make proper decisions on building on Cardano, there are some technical intrinsities, like some what's it called? Some foundational knowledge, right? That they need to have. A lot of that material is not out there except you contact IUG directly for some of that stuff. And I've actually been able to put together some technical documents myself for another use case. And, you know, if they do not have this, and this is one problem, you know, I'm just getting that out there to just so you are aware, because it might be an issue over time. Developer experience I won't say it's in shambles. I would say it's still under development because product committee has it out or the structure for the extensive materials and literally proper structured in education about Cardano and how to build Cardano. What exactly is how that would be?
Sorry, Demilade, you're breaking up.
Sorry, can you guys hear me? Hello?
Yes, we
Yes,
can hear you. Okay.
we can hear you now.
So my question is, sorry, what part did you? I don't. So I want, because I talk about some stuff.
Demi, can you please come again with your question? I think he's gone. This may break.
I guess the network is terrible, but what he's asking is, what are the plans to engage developers beyond just the hackathon?
Beyond just the hackathon, we are going to be, for the top project, they are going to be getting the funding and all of that. But for the other developers, we're not just going to leave them after the hackathon and abandon them. We are going to continue to provide adequate exposure for them, which is one of the things that this hackathon has to offer. That is exposure to all these our sponsors, including Cardano, because they're always looking to expand, and you know these people have a lot of money to spend in expansion. So one of the things that we'll be doing for them is making sure they're in contact with these sponsors. Some might get hired as ambassadors, as tutors, and all of that. And others will get to continue to work on their project. And another thing he asked in the beginning was educating the developers. He was talking about the curriculum. You have to like dig deep before you get them. We actually have a head of curriculum that is working on that. And that's actually one of the other reasons that I'm here today, because I know the Catalyst Town Hall is one of the best places to find Cardano talent. So, like I said, we are looking for tutors. And if you know you have those knowledge, those materials, we'll be very, very glad to have you on board. I've pasted my Telegram username in the comment section at Tife Young. So we currently have some materials that we got from Cardano and some of our partners, but of course, no material is too much, no knowledge or information is too much. So if you can get more, we'll be happy to do that. I hope I was able to answer his question. Alfred, no problem. It's all right. I'll be looking forward to your message on Telegram.
Okay. Okay, Tife, thank you very much for passing by and sharing your initiatives with us. Before you go, let me ask you, what motivated you and your team to do such a thing in Africa?
All right, so the company that is organizing this is Direct Ed Development. It's a company that is run out of the United Kingdom and Kenya. The founder is Simon, is an Oxford alumni. We actually organized ETH Oxford last year around March, and the second edition is actually happening now, right now, this weekend. That is the ETH 2025. And then is the founder of the Director Development. The co-founder is Moses, who is actually based in Kenya. So what Direct Ed Development does is to identify top talent in Africa. They train them with skills like UI, UX, web development, and most of these skills. And not just train them only, but help them to get jobs in Western companies so that they can get paid higher than most of their peers. And it's not just in Kenya only. The company has expanded to some other African countries. Most of the people I'm working with in the African Blockchain Championship are alumni from Direct Air Development, organizing the hackathon with me, except from me. And from the pitch deck I shared, you could also see the Why Africa section. Africa has a whole lot of opportunities. We are adopting crypto more. Our population has a lot of young people. So the future is basically Africa. And the future will not be successfully Africa if we don't utilize the opportunities we have now, like developing uh, helping to educate our developers so that they have the necessary knowledge. While we were trying to look for sponsors for this hackathon, it's almost impossible to find blockchain companies in Africa. We would have to go outside of Africa to see these blockchain companies. There are some that are coming up, but they don't have enough exposure or enough help. So we are looking to help with this. Apart from developing, educating our developers, the companies that will get to come out of this hackathon, we are going to pour all our energy into them, make sure they become top companies outside Africa also. So that by doing that, we'll continue to create like a chain motion where one company educates younger developers, and then those younger developers also educate the more younger developers, and everybody just keep getting the necessary information they need to become successful.
Response, Tife. I
Thank
see.
you.
I see. Demilade is back. Demi, do you
Can you
still want
guys
to
hear me
continue
now?
with your
Am I
question?
audible? Am I audible?
Yeah, you're
Yep.
audible.
Okay, yeah, I apologize for that. My internet is not on my side today. My question, Tife, is about providing proper materials and educational content for developers. And I was asking, what exactly is your what's in your plan? What's in your strategy to ensure that developers get adequate um, materials have probably been put together by you guys? What does that look like? Um, the structure around that? Because that's one of the problems that, in my experience, I've seen within the developer community in Cardano. There, when making ideal decisions for um, deciding what tools to use and deciding how to make specific decisions on development-based decisions, there are some foundational knowledge, right, that developers need to have, and a lot of that is in the hands of IOG. As a matter of fact, I've had to reach out to IOG specifically just to get some materials about some information about the Cardano infrastructure. So, what exactly are you guys working on? Regarding educational content.
All right, thank you very much for that question. And I appreciate your enthusiasm in making sure we get the proper materials for our developers. So we actually have our head of curriculum who is in contact with our networks in Cardano, who is helping us to prepare the curriculums that we use, the necessary materials that will be used. And that is also the reason why I'm in the Catalyst Town Hall today, because I know if I want to find the top talent in Cardano in Africa, this is where to do so. So if there's anyone that also has more materials, more knowledge about that, you can either share that with us or you can apply for the tutor position so that you will get to use those knowledge. Like I said, we have to train our tutors before they can teach our participants. But if we can get people who are knowledgeable from on here, then that would be like less work for us, and that would be very, very great. Because like you said, you have like in-depth knowledge, you have the necessary materials. So we'll be happy to have you on board if you are willing to be a tutor for that. But we also have an head of curriculum who is doing that for us, getting the necessary materials and all of that. I hope that answers your question, Demilade.
Yes, that's answered my question. I didn't say I have in-depth knowledge. I just said this is one of the issues that I faced in my experience. But yes, I've been in the Cardano community, developer community, for about 3 years now, and I completed the Emerald Solutions Architect program from associate to solutions architect, and been pulling together other materials, to learn other tools, and being active in, these developer communities as well. So, I mean, it's just one of the issues that a lot of developers, that even developers that I'm mentoring myself, providing content, and finding these resources is an issue. Although the community is aware and they are doing something about that, I've raised that in the product committee, in Intersect, and simplified developer experience is one of the issues that has been addressed there. But it's just one thing that is critical that we need to have, so that by the time the hackathon event kicks off, they would have substantial knowledge, like enough knowledge, enough materials, the right information to, hack and just hack away, because building on Cardano is not that easy compared to, VM. Although it's getting easier and simpler, but it has its own learning curve.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I think Damilede is one of the few people in the Cardano ecosystem that actually have when it, let me not generalize it, but when it comes to Africa, he's one of the few people who have the knowledge in blockchain development, especially when it comes to Cardano. And considering what is going on, considering the African Blockchain Championships, there's also a program, right? If I'm wrong, correct me. There's a program for trainers. So you can actually join the team,
Yeah.
join them as a trainer, get to know their mission, vision, objectives, and then transfer that knowledge back to the participant or to the student. And considering your background and the rich knowledge that you have, I think you will be a key player. Tife, I hope I am on the right note.
Yes, you're on the right track. So, Demilade, if you're interested, I'll be looking forward to your message, and every other person too. And apart from that, if there's anyone from any other African country who would like to come on board, who can speak on that and see how we can onboard you into the African Blockchain Championship. I would like to appreciate everyone that is present here today, and also to the Catalyst African Town Hall team for giving me the opportunity to represent the team and to discuss what the championship is all about. I might have to leave soon, but I've seen everyone is sending me messages on Telegram, and I promise to reply to them as soon as possible. Thank you very much once again.
Thank you very much, Tife, for honoring our call. We have had a very strong relationship with Direct ED for a very long time. They have been on our town hall several times, and we hope to continue this relationship. And we like the meeting that we had, African Town Hall is ready to also partner with you and see how we can push the agenda of onboarding more developers in Africa. So you hear from us very soon. Thank you very much for joining us today. Our next meeting will be on 21st of February. And the next activity that we have, we'll publish it on our social media handle, right? The event that we'll have on 21st. We have an interesting program coming on 21st, so please watch out on our various social media handles. That's what we have to say for today. And so this brings the end of our meeting for today, right? Recording will stop. And if you want to still stay around and have a chit chat or share something off the line, you can also do that. But we really appreciate all of you for coming to the African Town Hall. Our mission and vision still remain the same, collaborating to build a stronger blockchain in Africa and beyond. Merci beaucoup for coming to today's meeting.